What's up, y'all? I pray that for you guys. I wanted to come on and release this word, release this revelation that the Lord gave me. Hopefully my signal is good because I am walking. I'm getting the last little bit of my cardio in, you guys. It is a hot day for sure. It has been a hot day, and it is literally 7 p.m. It's amazing how many excuses our minds will come up with once we've made up our mind to commit to something, commit to growing in an area or whatever the case may be. I'm going to say that again. It's amazing how many excuses our mind, our flesh will make up once we have made up our mind to actually commit to something. You think about people that have been in abusive relationships, toxic relationships, narcissistic relationships, whether they were intimate, whether it was a friendship, business partnership, whatever the case may be. You know, it's like when you have a good heart, you know, you tend to, and I promise you guys I'm going somewhere with this. When you have a good heart, you tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. And so for me, I'll use myself, for instance. When I was in that abusive, narcissistic relationship for a couple of years, I would always get to a point where I would make my mind up that I'm about to leave, that I'm about to break it off. And shortly after I would make my mind up, here comes the enemy tempting me, or here comes my flesh rather, coming up with some type of excuse to hold on to a false hope or to stay in a place, that I knew was not serving me. And it happens, honestly, in every single, area of our lives. Say, for instance, people that, are believing God, well, people that want to lose weight, let's start there. And they know they got to get their diet together. Have you ever noticed, or have you ever experienced, or maybe you've been that person, no judgment, that has, said, okay, Monday, I'm going to start and I'm going to get it together and I'm going to, be on the roll, and then Monday comes and then you mess up, right? And when you mess up, you're like, well, I'll just start the next Monday. And what happens is, you never ever get around to doing what you need to do, what you made up your mind to do in the first place, if that makes sense. And so our declaration on today, or this evening rather, is going to be follow through. And I know if I'm breathing hard, I can't help it. I am working out. It is hot. My heart rate is up. It is a little bit high. But our declaration is follow through. Now, there's been a certain theme to the week, a certain message or messages that God has really been working to get out, letting go of the old so that we can truly experience the new. This morning he had a right on time rhema word, for us all. He's really been talking about movement, giving him something to work with. For many of us, embracing the different strategies that, are coming to us in this hour. And so today was one of those days where it has been productive for the most part. I got a lot accomplished. I got a lot done. However, towards the time where it was time for me to get my afternoon workout in, weird stuff began to happen. And I found myself not necessarily being triggered, but I found myself in a predicament where I was contemplating on just not working out this afternoon. I worked out this morning, right? I was making up all type of excuses. I was noticing the triggers or the temptations to stress eat and different things like that coming back. And I'll just tell you guys what happened. So it was one, the bills that were trying to come out of my account, and just the email saying, hey, you don't have enough money for this bill, you don't have enough money for that bill. thinking about my phone bill that's past due. And it was just a busy day. On top of that, around the time when it's time for me to go and work out, I'm trying to spend some time with Mr. Bo, and Sweetie was asleep. Did you guys not know Capone peed in the house? I mean, peed and tracked it all over the house. On top of me trying to clean, I realized, Lord, I had like a drop of like 409 left. And so at this point, I'm a little bit heated. I'm a little bit agitated because I'm tired, right, from the heat from the day. You ever been like that? You know, you ever had a moment like that where you already tired and then something else happens and you kind of like forget it all, right? Forget it all. So I'm having one of those moments because I'm like, Lord, the last thing I wanted to do is to be cleaning up some pee. Point blank, period. I'm like, Lord, the last thing I want to be doing is cleaning up some pee. And so it put me in a mindset where, you know, now I'm contemplating, well, I'm already tired. This just messed me all the way up. And so maybe I'm thinking, maybe I just need to give my body a break, take the day off, and literally just rest. And then something clicked, you know, and I still really wasn't feeling the gym, but I ended up going to work out, right? I started to think about check-ins. I started to think about where I want to go. And so I'm on the way to the gym, turning into the gym's parking lot. I promise y'all I'm going somewhere. Turning into the gym's parking lot. A car is speeding through the parking lot. First of all, on the wrong side of the parking lot, coming out while I'm trying to come in. It was literally that close from a head-on collision. Had I not braked when I did, it would have been a legitimate like car accident. And so that made me very anxious. It made me very on edge. And even though I was sitting at the workout, you know, at the gym, you know, my mind was even the more saying, just go home. This is the sign. Just go home. Don't do it. And the Lord told me something. And this really snapped me out of it. He said, in the old season, wasn't this always what happened? He said, so find it not strange. The moment that you make up your mind the moment that you make up your mind that you can accomplish this goal, that you can get it done, find it not strange that the enemy would rear his ugly head. And the Lord said, this is what happens a lot of times in the lives of my children. They make up their mind, you know, to believe me in certain areas. They make up their mind to go all in concerning certain things that they are believing me for. Already in the past been giving in to the enemy's temptation to quit prematurely, to grow discouraged, to get frustrated. You know, it created a cycle for many of us of not getting to the place in life that we want to get to, not seeing God move the way that we will want him to move. I pray that I'm making sense. But the Lord said, he said, and so in this season, different responses to what's going on around you will produce a different result. And he followed it up by saying, follow through. I need somebody to type that in on the screen. Follow through. Follow through. So it's like in this moment, what God is saying is, as you make up your mind concerning whatever the Holy Spirit has put in your heart for this season of your life, number one, please understand that the enemy is going to come for that area. He's going to try the same old tactics that got you to halt dead in your tracks in the previous season. He's going to come up with all type of, come on, little strange fires, false fires, to get you so discombobulated, to get you feeling so weary in a brand new season that you have no reason to be weary in, because it is a last ditch effort to keep you from what God has in store for you. And so, needless to say, when the Lord put it to me that way, sorry about the lighting, you guys, it's the sun. So needless to say, I had a real good workout. Then it came time for me to do my cardio. Now I'm talking about the warfare that comes once you make up your mind to believe God, once you make up your mind to do your part, right? Then it comes time for cardio. Immediately when I get to the house, of course, I got to take all the dogs out. Got to play with them. I got a whole baby that just screams his little lungs out. I kid y'all not. It's not as bad as it was when I first got him, but he still screams. And so now my mind is getting to the point of, I'm thinking of other excuses. The enemy is implanting other excuses, other reasons, to encourage me not to follow through with the ending of my workout, which is cardio. So here I am, my mind thinking, well, what if people see me exercising, right? Because to a certain degree, I've been ashamed of how much weight I've gained. I'm just going to be real. What if people see me? What if people judge me? I had all of these what if thoughts, all of these reasons right before I came outside to walk, right? As to why I shouldn't come outside to walk. And the reason I'm outside is because it's hot. I can get a good sweat in and I can burn way more calories, right? And so God's response to me was a similar response. I promise y'all I'm going somewhere. But he said, when have you ever cared what people thought about you? He said, when you were smaller, when you felt like you looked more athletic, he said, you didn't care what people thought. I would go out and I would walk, especially during 2020. Y'all, I would walk for hours at a time. I would just in the dead heat, summertime, I'm walking, I'm getting my cardio in, didn't care who saw me. And so when he put it to me like that, he told me, he said, this time is no different. So follow through. And in so many words, what God was saying was keep your word. I'm going to say that again. In so many words, what God was saying was keep your word. You said that you were going to make your mind up, that you believe that you could do X, Y, and Z. Now, stay true to your part. Now, here's where the revelation comes for you guys, right? Because there are many of you guys where we're all in different parts of our journey with God. Some people are, believing God for finances. Some people are learning how to trust God. Some people are on a health journey of their own. Let's start with finances because that's the easiest for me to give you an example. So let's just say finances is a big area that you've been believing God for, right? And so you know that a part of that, doing your part financially, it may look like tithing, especially when you have not been tithing, especially on a fixed income. Have you ever noticed that when you first make up your mind that you are going to tithe consistently, and even for those of you guys that do tithe consistently, have you ever noticed how things always pop up around the time when it's time for you to tithe? Give me a one if it happens. Give me a one if you can say that has happened to me. And by something popping up when it's around the time to tithe, it may be an unexpected bill. Your tire may blow out. It may be an unexpected, medical expense that you got to pay for. And a lot of times what happens for many people is when that initial thing comes in, when that unforeseen circumstance happens, they fall back on their word to God. I pray that I'm making sense. They fall back on their word to God. And hence, why the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, it continues. Why the cycle of poverty, in some cases, it's why it continues, because there's no follow through. Us doing our part has nothing to do with what's happening around us. I know I just stepped on some toes, but I'm going to say it again. Us doing our part, giving God something to work with, it has absolutely zero, and I do mean zero to do with things that are happening around us. I'm going to say it one more time because somebody needs to hear this. For some of y'all, I hit the nail right on the head with where you've been. Some of you guys that watch these broadcasts, and I'm not even talking about you tithing to this ministry. Some of you do not tithe consistently. Some months you can, you like, okay, God, I can swing it. Other months, you be like, ooh, something happened with this paycheck, God. Let me just put it on hold. Let me not just do it. The miracle is in your follow through. I'm going to say that again. The miracle, am I still freezing? What about now? Am I still freezing, Kanema? Am I still freezing? Am I still freezing? Am I still freezing? I need somebody to come in to let me know if I am still freezing. I should my signal. No, I shouldn't be freezing. My Wi-Fi's not on or anything else. Okay. Said I'm not freezing. Thank you so much. And so, I'm going to say what I said again. You doing your part, us doing our part has nothing to do with the circumstances that happen in the meantime. How is it that we expect God to follow through on his word, but a lot of times, and we expect him to follow through no matter what happens, no matter what the circumstance is, we expect God to be straight up solid. So how is it that we can't give that to him? Our mindset sometimes becomes, God, I'll do what's needed if the circumstances are right for me to do it. I'm going to say that again. Our mindset a lot of times will be, God, I'll do what I need to do as long as the circumstances are right for me to do it. I'm going to say it again. A lot of times, especially with things that the enemy really attacks, it's okay, God, I'll tithe as long as nothing unexpected happens. Okay, God, I'll go walking as long as I'm able to get, 8 hours of sleep and X, Y, and Z. Us doing our part is not a conditional thing. It is a very much so black and white thing. Do you want what God has for you, or do you not? It's about matching his energy. And that's the only time that I'll ever tell somebody to match somebody's energy. And honestly speaking, I really despise when people say, oh, I'm on what you on. I'm matching your energy. Baby, listen, I don't have no time to be matching nobody's energy but his. And so it's like, as God has been giving me all of these revelations about following through, you guys see where I am. I mean, my mind made up every excuse. It's too hot outside. What if I ain't drunk enough water? What if this, God? What if that? What if people stare at me? But the truth of the matter too is, how are you going to get how are you going to get the thing that you're believing God for if you don't show up? How? Let your yes be a yes to God, and let your actions show that your yes is a yes. Okay, Kanema, I'm going to say that again. Let your actions show that your yes is really a yes to God. Some of y'all are going to be tested right now. Some of y'all are going to be tested, tomorrow. Some of you guys are going to be tested when it comes time for you to tithe. You are going to be tested. And God is going to be looking to see, if you are willing to follow through. Or are you going to allow the same cycle that's repeated itself over and over and over again to win again? Follow through. And so, this here is challenging. Also, get this out. That's the broadcast. Follow through. Follow through. I'm going to say it again. Follow through. To those of you guys that feel led to sow, please just go sow. Even if you're not sowing to this ministry, some of you guys, God is giving you instructions to sow, and you have not done it. So if you know that you're one of the people that needs to go and sow, obey God. To those of you guys sowing seed into this particular word, the seed title is follow through. Right now, Jesus. Okay, God says not to say anymore. So listen, that's it, y'all. That's it. If you feel led to sow whatever God tells you to sow. You need prayer for anything, the links are in the bio, not the bio. The links are in the description of every single video. You want to book a session, those links are there as well. And so that is it, y'all. Again, if you know, God has me saying this again. Some of y'all know that you need to sow. Go and sow. And I'll tell you guys where the funds are going. The funds that you guys sow are going to go towards, I have to pay the ministry phone bill so that I can continue to broadcast. Like I say, my payment arrangement was for yesterday. Did not pay it, absolutely forgot. And so right now, my goal is 118. 118 is my goal. And so if you know you're able to sow, I'm trying to avoid it getting cut off and having to pay a reconnection fee. I'm almost certain that tomorrow morning, if I don't pay it tonight, it's a good chance that I may wake up to my phone not working. And so can someone type that goal in on the screen? I'm not sure if this video is lagging or whatever the case, but the goal is 118. It's just literally to keep my phone on so that I can broadcast, so that if anything happens, emergency wise, that I'll be, prepared for, that I and so that is it. If you know, maybe you don't feel led to sow seed into this particular word, but if you know you're in a position to help, even if what you sow is not much, I just ask that you obey God. I just ask that you obey God. I'll be back on as God leads me to, but right now I got to finish this walk. And so till next time, y'all. Peace.